Many performance dialogues reveal the need for more leadership. Now, when you're a vice president or a director, you're probably quite good in managing your budget, the process, and hitting KPIs. But does that make you a good leader? Why should anyone be led by you anyway? That's the brilliant question that Rob Goffey of London Business School asked in his book. The typical answers are, you need to inspire people, you need to role model, you need to show the way, clear. I'd also like to add the notion of servant leadership. Now, Nelson Mandela was the personification of a servant leader. He was really there for his people, he listened, and he was empathetic and compassionate. I've worked with a guy, René Schuster, international CEO, who met Nelson Mandela, and ever since he's incorporated that practice into his leadership. Another thing that's really important for leaders is to be aware of their leadership shadow. Now, what does that mean? Whenever you are not there, you are still there, and that's your leadership shadow. So think about the yes but versus the yes and culture that I discussed in another video. If you are able to create a yes and culture within your team, this spirit will live on even if you're not there, even if in fact you manage a remote team and you only see them once a year. Contrary to popular belief, leadership is not about individuals. In fact, anything that humans have ever created or changed has been done so by a small bunch of people. And that's why I focus on your bilateral relationships in my leadership development practice. I offer 3 things. Number 1, team coaching. I was asked by a global cable provider to work with one of their European management teams. Now, this is all about growth. They want to double in size over the next 5 years. It's quite an efficient provider already in the market, and that poses the challenge to become another company that is twice in size. Some of those directors work on the business as usual, whereas other ones manage the growth and the innovation. I created the narrative for them to have the most meaningful, open and honest conversations on a bilateral level, because that's what it takes to manage that competing commitment. If you are more interested in this topic, there's another video in my resource section. 2, I create leadership interventions. I've worked with the CEO of Telefonica in Czech Republic who needed his board and the top 50 to be more leaders. We created a narrative for what it means, and then he and the board facilitated workshops where the question was explored, why should anyone be led by you? And after that, they had to put it in practice. Together with a bunch of students who they never met before, they had to produce a video blog in only 1 hour. After that hour, that pressure cooker, they got feedback from those students on how much leadership they actually showed. As a result, the Senior Leadership Index went up by 8 points from 80 to 88 in the following year. 3, I offer structured project support. RWE is one of the leading energy providers in Europe, and they have a steep history. Nevertheless, they face a massive problem. They have to launch new products and services to cover their revenue gap. Together with a team of fellow facilitators, I created a program that mimics the project lifecycle stages from start to finish. So as a result, one team has accelerated the product launch, another team has completely pivoted and does something else, and a third team has actually stopped the project. And this is what innovation is all about. And what I bring is the spirit of startups, to think like a startup and to act like a startup. You can find more information about these project examples in the section called My Work.